Her boyfriend's mother had just said 3 words that would break something inside her she didn't know could break. She stood in the center of the restaurant, alone, while 30 people stared. And the worst part, he didn't say anything, he just looked away. This is the story of Maya and Jin-woo. A love that crossed oceans. A humiliation that crossed lines. And a choice that would define everything. But to understand what happened that night, we need to go back 6 months. Before this story continue, please subscribe to Afro Korean Veil for more stories that cross borders, break barriers. And please do not forget to tell us where you are watching from. Back to when she still believed love could conquer anything. Maya met Jin-woo at a Seoul coffee shop on a rainy Tuesday. She was studying Korean. He was studying her. He approached with broken English and a shy smile. She responded with broken Korean and genuine laughter. Within 2 weeks, they were inseparable. Jin-woo was different from anyone she'd dated. Thoughtful. Attentive. He'd leave handwritten notes in her textbooks. He'd walk 40 minutes just to bring her favorite pastries. "You make Seoul feel like home," she told him once. He kissed her forehead. "You are home." For 4 months it was perfect. But there was something he never talked about, his family. Every time Maya mentioned meeting them, Jin-woo changed the subject. "Soon," he'd say. "They're traditional. I need to prepare them." She didn't push. She understood cultural differences. She'd researched Korean family dynamics, learned about respect and hierarchy. What she didn't know was that Jin-woo's mother had already seen her picture, and had already made a decision. The invitation came suddenly. "My mother wants to meet you," Jin-woo said one evening. His voice was tight. Nervous. "That's wonderful." Maya's heart raced with excitement. "There's a family dinner. Saturday. At Hanwoo Garden." He paused. It's important to my mother. Very formal." Maya spent 3 days preparing. She bought a conservative hanbok-inspired dress. Practiced formal Korean greetings. Even learned which utensils to use in which order. She wanted everything perfect. Jin-woo was quieter than usual on the drive there. His knuckles were white on the steering wheel. "Are you okay?" Maya asked. I need you to understand. My mother, she has expectations." "Jin-woo, I'll be respectful. I promise." He nodded, but didn't smile. They arrived at Hanwoo Garden 20 minutes early. Jin-woo's hands were shaking as he adjusted his collar. The restaurant was elegant. Private room. Low lighting. Maya could hear voices inside. His family was already there. She took a deep breath. Jin-woo opened the door. And the temperature dropped. 12 people sat around the table. Every single one turned to look at Maya. Nobody smiled. Jin-woo's mother sat at the head. Perfectly postured. Diamond earrings catching the light. Her expression was carved from ice. "Everyone, this is Maya," Jin-woo said in Korean. His voice cracked slightly. Silence. Maya bowed deeply. "Annyeonghaseyo. It's an honor to meet Jin-woo's family." Still nothing. Then Jin-woo's mother spoke. Not to Maya. To Jin-woo. "Sit there." She pointed to a seat far from Maya. "She can sit at the end." The end of the table. Away from everyone. Jin-woo hesitated for just a second. Then obeyed. Maya felt her stomach drop. But she smiled. Walked to the chair. Sat down. The dinner began. For 30 minutes, they ate in near silence. Conversations happened in rapid Korean. Maya couldn't fully follow. Nobody addressed her. Nobody looked at her. She was a ghost at her own introduction. Then the questions started. "Where are your parents from?" Jin-woo's aunt asked. Not unkindly but probing. "Nigeria. They immigrated when I was young." "Nigeria." The aunt exchanged a glance with Jin-woo's mother. More questions followed. Each one feeling less like curiosity and more like an interrogation. "What do your parents do? What kind of neighborhood did you grow up in? Do you plan to stay in Korea?" Maya answered everything with grace. With patience. But she could feel it building. Something toxic in the air. Then Jin-woo's mother set down her chopsticks, and the room went silent. Jin-woo, his mother said slowly. Can you explain to me what you were thinking? He froze. Iyama. A foreign girl. She said it like a diagnosis. You bring a foreign girl to this family. Maya's pulse hammered in her ears. Yama, please. Not here. Jin-woo's voice was barely a whisper. But his mother stood. Her voice rose. Do you know what people will say? Do you understand what you're asking this family to accept? Every eye was on Maya now. She wanted to disappear. To melt into the floor. She doesn't belong here, Jin-woo. Look at her. She will never be one of us. The words hit like a slap. Maya's vision blurred. She looked at Jin-woo, silently begging him to say something. Anything that he was staring at his plate. This is disrespectful to your father's memory. To our family name. I will not allow it. Tears burned Maya's eyes. But she wouldn't let them fall. Not here. Not in front of these people. She stood slowly. Her chair scraped against the floor. Thank you for dinner, she said quietly in Korean. Then she walked out. 30 people watched her leave. Jin-woo didn't follow. Maya stood outside in the cold. Her phone buzzed. Jin-woo. Asterisk, I'm sorry. Please wait. I'll explain. Asterisk, but she didn't wait. She got in a taxi. Went back to her apartment. And finally let herself cry. The next morning, Jin-woo showed up at her door. Eyes red. Voice hoarse. I should have defended you. I should have stopped her. But you didn't. No. I'm a coward. But Maya, I love you. We can make this work. She looked at him for a long time. This man she'd given so much to. Who'd made her feel seen and cherished. Until it mattered most. Love isn't supposed to feel like humiliation, Jin-woo. Please. Don't give up on us. I'm not giving up on us. Her voice was steady now. I'm giving up on being small for someone else's comfort. She closed the door. And for the first time in months, she felt like herself again. Sometimes love asks you to bend. But it should never ask you to break. Maya stayed in Seoul. Found new friends. Built a life on her own terms. And 3 months later, Jin-woo sent one final message. Asterisk, I told my mother I'm moving to Busan. Away from her expectations. I don't know if you'll ever forgive me. But I'm learning to stand up now. Even if it's too late. Asterisk, she never replied. Because some lessons come too late. And some dignity once surrendered is too precious to risk again. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Afro Korean Veil for more stories that cross borders, break barriers, and remind us that belonging should never cost us ourselves. What would you have done in Maya's position? Let me know in the comments.